So let's wait for some viewers. Hi, yay, I have 3 people. Welcome to Teacher. Hi, Charles. Welcome to Teacher Kaye Talks. Libreng konsulta po ngayong July kasi hindi pa po ako nakakapag-libreng konsulta. Usually I do it at the start of the month, pero medyo na busy po tayo. Hello, hi Kirstine and Jean. Mga kilala ko na ng mga names na to Hello, Gracelyn. And thank you for tagging your friends. Sige guys, share nyo pa po. I-share nyo lang po. And nung mga naka-attend na ng mga live stream ko dati, napapansin nyo bang if better yung internet ko? Kasi kakapakabit ko lang po ng bagong internet at ramdam na ramdam ko po ang ginawa. Hello, Jeng. Oh, so nice to see your names. Siyempre, hindi pa tayo nag-meet in person, but these are the people that I've been talking to and who share and like my posts. Thank you so much. Guys, pag nag-hit na yung 2 o'clock, unahan na po sa mga tanong niyo po dyan. Alam niyo naman kung laging minsan gahol tayo sa oras. Hello, Joanne. So for those who are new here or hindi pa po naka-attend ng libreng konsulta ko before, so how this goes is i-comment nyo lang po yung mga tanong ninyo, and then I also need the age of the child, and then if you have samples, utterances or nasasabi ng bata, those are also relevant for me to be able to give you better advice and tips. Hello, Lorna. Hello, Anne. I'm okay. Sana okay kayo. Hey, Jinga. Thanks for dropping by. Ox lang yan. Go work, work, work. Hello, Maricel and Cherise and Badion. Yay, from Pangasinan. Yeah, guys, tell me where you guys are watching from. Hello, Des. Yes, parang you're a new name nga. Welcome to our stream. Hello, Maui and Megan and Catherine. Oh, wow, parang same tayo ng name, pero different ng spelling. So, guys, it's 2 o'clock. So kung meron kayong tanong, let's do it. Alam niyo naman, unahan na yan. Once the questions start coming, parang, oh my gosh. Oh yes, from Bicol. I'm Bicolana po, na hindi marunong masyado. Ang alam ko lang po ay kapay-kapay. Kasi yun po tawag sa akin dati. And Carmona Cavite, yes. And Tarlac. Hello, hello. Hello, Seth. Oh, hello! From Happy Koala, who I recently got in touch with kasi shinare nila yung post ko and they're a school from Tokyo. Hello, Peggy from Kalibo, Aklan. Oh, I miss you guys then. Thank you, Anne. I know it's been a month. It's been a month. Hello, Lorna from Santa Maria, Bulacan. All right, here we go. 22-month-old baby girl. Sorry. Magdi-disclaimers lang ako para sa mga bago dito. Hi, Colleen from Cebu, my friend. Disclaimer lang before I start, for those of you who are new here, I'm Teacher Kaye and I'm a certified speech-language pathologist. Ito pong libreng konsulta ko, so para lang po maserbisyohan ko mas marami at once, and then sometimes yung mga tanong ng iba, tanong rin ng iba, so kapag nakikinig sila, parang ay, nasagot na yung tanong ko, parang ganun din ako. So it helps the whole community to do this, but remember, this is a public live stream, so yung mga sasabihin nyo po dito, obviously, nababasa din ng other people. So if you have problems with privacy, like ayaw nyong malaman na meron kayong problem or whatever other reasons you have, i-message nyo lang po ako. Ang problema lang po sa messages ay mas mahirap po siyang balikan kasi hihintayin ko yung sagot, la. And then, tambak-tambak na po yung mga, yung inbox ko kasi I can only get to it in between my own work tasks and, life. So, yes, pero kaya, simulan na natin after that disclaimer. Let's do this. 22-month-old baby girl. We started at almost 3 words at 18 months. At because sa mga tips niyo po lagi namin ina-apply kay baby, we are at almost 35 words. Oh my gosh, that's a huge jump! And 10 of it was clear, and the rest was word approximations and exclamatory words. I love the terms, girl! I'm so proud of you. And pag sinama ko po, animal sounds, counted po ba yun as words? Yes, animal sounds, if said meaningfully, like nakakita sila ng picture of a cow and they say moo, that's, diba, if you guys remember, sa elementary, we have onomatopoeia, which is a part of speech na parang you're making the sound, it's the human version of an animal or inanimate sound. So yes, it counts as a word. It's parang the way that they associate the sound of the animal to the animal, and it counts as a separate word. But obviously, it is not the label for the animal. So iba pa yung ika-count mo kung nasabi na nila yung cow. So if counted, nasa 40 na kami. So kunwari po tinawag niya ako mama, tapos nag-point sa lizard, then make a lizard sound. Masasabi po bang nakikipag-communicate siya? I know it is. Yes, that is communication. It's like maybe, you know, of course, I don't know what your baby exactly is saying, pero to me, it sounds like calling your attention. Tapos gusto niyang tingnan niyo po to. At alam ko po yung animal na yan. At alam ko po yung sound niya. So, thumbs up. That's awesome progress. Good job, Mommy Jean. You should be so proud of yourself because I'm proud of you. Hello, Megan. Teacher Kaye, hindi ko po masyadong nakasalita ang anak ko. 3 years old na po siya. Pwede ko po kaya siyang enroll sa playgroup tutorial. Thank you. I don't, so I'm not sure if you're asking me to enroll kung meron akong playgroup. So the answer to that is no po, I don't have playgroups and tutorials. But yes, you may enroll them at sakaling ma-socialize, makakita siya ng ibang bata na, uy, nagsasalita na sila. Sometimes it has an impact on children na nakikita nila yung peers nila nagsasalita na. But my concern for this is, hindi pa masyadong nakakasalita at 3 years old. Tapos, I'm wondering if, do you mean the playgroup tutorial is online? Because that's a different aspect. If one of the reasons why hindi pa siya nakakasalita is there are maybe some work behavior problems, like hindi pa okay masyado yung attention niya, hindi sustained yung attention, then if the playgroup tutorial is going to be online, baka hindi siya maka-attend doon sa ginagawa ng klase. But if it's live, like meron po talaga siyang mga kalaro, I think it would be a good idea. And again, given all the safety protocols, kayo naman po, you know, it's your discretion, kahit na may pandemya, but, you know, lahat tayo, we all understand our situation the best. So, my answer to that is, if kaya ng attention and work behaviors niya to be in the playgroup and you think makaka-benefit siya doon, go for it, because socialization is another good way for the children to learn. Hello, Shadel. Mary Ann Quizon Rivera. Hi, Teacher Kaye. I've been forgetting to show. There na. Hi, Teacher Kaye. From Valenzuela. Hello. 2 and 4 months old baby. Hindi nakakapagsalita. Sinusunod na namin yung 6 ways para po matrigger siya magsalita. Do you mean episode 8? Marunong naman po siyang mag-identify ng magkakaparehas na shape and color. Hindi rin naman po siya bingi. Ano po kaya possible reason bakit po hindi siya makapagsalita? Thank you po, Teacher Kaye. Alright. So, I'm not sure if what you're talking about dun sa 6 ways na matrigger siya magsalita is from my tips on episode 8. So, if you've tried all of those, so marurule out ko na it's probably not the opportunities that you're providing, because if, like you said, ginagawa nyo na yon, then the opportunities are present. Can we check po if, wait, so when you say hindi pa nakakapagsalita, as in, do you mean 0 words, 0 sounds? So magkaiba pa po yun ang category. And it's good because you mentioned nakaka-identify ng shapes and colors. That means yung receptive language niya, yung naiintindihan niya, meron naman siyang receptive language vocabulary. So ang problem natin ngayon is yung expressive language niya. And let me remind you that at 2 years old, our milestones for babies are nakakapagdugtong na ng, or at least nagtatry na silang mag-combine ng 2 words together in a phrase. For example, mama, give, or kain, ako, mga ganyan. So those are sample things na 2-year-olds usually nasasabi na. So yes, get back to me on 0 sounds or 0 words. And then if merong sounds and words, can you give me examples of yung mga nasasabi niya? Because right now, given lang yung information na sinabi mo, the next thing I would check, because you've checked out bingi siya, siguro ang susunod kong itatanong is, madalas bang nakakapanood ng videos? That could be a factor. I have an episode about that. The impact of screen time on children's attention and overall learning and behavior. Another thing I can think of is baka there is something structural. Nahihirapan ba siyang mag-form ng sound? So maybe if we can, is it related to, may napapansin ba kayo about yung feeding ng bata? Like, napapansin niyo ba if matagal siyang ngumuya or madalas makalat, ganyan. Because also the way that the parts of the mouth move could also be affecting how it could move and why it does not move for speech, etc. So balikan po kay Miss Mary Ann. So, uy, nag-jump. Wait lang. Wait, nag-jump. Okay, next one. Hello, Maricel. Hi, 3 years and 7 months ang son ko na diagnosed with ASD language impairment. PI. What's PI? It's impairment. Okay. Hindi po ako sure if that's a typo or merong PI sa after, but I'm not familiar with the PI. Ask ko lang po sana yung son ko, wala pa siya talaga focus pag tinuturuan. Bakit po kaya ganun? Although mama at papa, alam naman niyo po sabihin, tata, nana. So, mama, papa, tata, nana, kuya, ate. Kaso, kapag magsalita sa jargon po, dapat siya sanay, di pa siya sanay mag-ABC and mag-count. Okay, Miss Maricel. So, because you said that meron po siyang diagnosis of ASD and then a language impairment, so the way that I want to explain this to you is, from the definition of ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder, it is a developmental disorder po. So meron po talagang mga parts of the way that they learn things and their brain develops, the way that they respond to the environment, iba po talaga sa mga typical na children. And that alone is a big factor to why mas huli niyang natututunan yung speech and language niya. But you also mentioned na nagsasalita siya ng jargon and meron siyang 6 or 7 words, single words na nasasabi. Yung jargon po, if you see my episode, you know what, bubuksan ko lang yung YouTube ko because I want to be able to give you guys episode numbers just in case meron sa inyong hindi pa napapanood yon. So, give me 1 minute. Ito na. So, yung episode ko po on jargon, which is episode 34, sinabi ko po doon na jargon could happen because they're still trying to practice or iniintindi pa nila, paano ko ba sasabihin itong mga ideas ko sa mind? Pero hindi nila mag-get. So, what they do is, they get the sounds that they're used to saying. Tapos yun yung ginagamit nila. Tapos, I guess, some of them have the expectation na if I say this enough, baka maintindihan nila with the way I say it. But there's also jargon na could be affected by, let's say, screen time. So, may mga times na may maririnig silang sounds from a TV show that they watch. Tapos, ma-memorize nilang sounds na yan, hindi mo alam kung saan siya nanggaling. Pero kunyari, let's just say, for example, may sound na yuda gaga or something. Tapos nauulit nila yon and they use that to express themselves. It just means they're trying to figure out, can I use this memorized phrase to express myself? So the tip that I gave in the video about jargon is, kapag naggaganon sila, you have to observe so well kung ano yung tinatry nilang sabihin sa'yo. And then once you kind of understand. So, kunwari, nasasabi nila yung yuda gaga but they're reaching for, let's say, a glass of water. So, alam na natin na ang gusto nila is kunin yung tubig. Pero, iba yung words na gamit nila. So, when they say, yuda gaga, sabihin mo lang, gusto mo ng tubig? Tubig? Bigay ko sa'yo yung tubig? And then if they do any body language like, yeah, yan ang gusto ko, ibigay nyo na yon. And at least na-model nyo na yung tubig, gusto tubig. So we're going to try to replace the jargon with the target words. Imbes na mag-focus tayo sa, anong sinasabi mo? Anong sinasabi mo? Hindi ko maintindihan. So, skip na tayo dun sa step na yon and just focus on, okay, anong gusto kong ituro sa kanya? What does it look like gusto niyang sabihin? So I hope, so hindi pa pala. So, actually wala kasing question. So, I'm just gonna give open advice. I just want to respond to the part where you said, di pa siya sanay mag-ABC and mag-count. I say this a lot in my posts na yung alphabet, ABC, counting numbers are really not that relevant, especially really not that relevant to children who are not attending school yet. They will have time to learn that in school. That's why it's part of the curriculum. So what we really want to focus on are the meaningful words that they use every day. So yun yung mga actions that they use for requesting. Like we want them to be able to know how to say give, or akin na, or pahiram, or karga, or we want them to be able to comment na, sakit, or gutom, or uhaw, or kain, or tulog, or whatever. So these are more meaningful than learning the ABCs and counting. Especially na sinabi nyo na around 7 pa lang yung mga words niya, at 3 and 7, and that ASD is also a factor, mas lalo nang hindi naging meaningful yung ABC and counting at that skill level. So when we're looking at children who already have a disorder, hindi na natin masyadong strictly titingnan yung milestones, because obviously they don't fall under the typical development of children. So even if 3 years and 7 months na siya, and this is usually the time nga na nakakapag-learn, nai-introduce na yung alphabet sa ibang children, but to someone who has difficulty learning even everyday words, ang tinitingnan natin ay yung skill age niya, or what we call language age. So with 7 words, the approximate age of this kind of language skill level, I would approximate to be at around 1 year old. Because at 1 year old, they should have 1 to 10 spoken words, but understand 50 to 300 words. As in, ganun kalawak ng range. So, yeah. So I hope you take all of those things into consideration. Hello, Cerise, watching from Calamba. Hello, hello. Hello, Charlene. Hi. Cerise, hello. Teacher Kaye, sana po gumawa po kayo ng video for expanding sentences po, pati po sa mga WH questions. Okay, you're right that I haven't gotten to WH questions. Good idea. So ang tagal lang nakasulat niyan sa notebook ko, pero ewan ko ba, lagi ko siya napupush for a later time. So thank you for reminding me. I could start with what questions or who questions, because those are stuff na minsan nasasagot na ng mga 1.5 to 2-year-old babies. But as for expanding utterances into sentences and phrases, meron na po. So ang aking episode number for expansion and extension, not 1 but 2, ay episode 30. So the title is From 1 to 2 Words and More, Expansion and Extension. So I hope that you get to see that one. All right, Sarah Jane, 1 year and 6 months. Sorry po kung sa isang comment maraming questions na po ako. No problem. Sulitin na natin. Gising na po kasi si baby. Pasensya na din po sa ibang mga, it's fine. We're a community here. Okay, so kapag nag-make ng sound si baby habang naglalaro, like, sounds, ano po dapat gawin? Ko gawin, or meron ba akong dapat gawin? Please watch episode, well, okay, number 1, depende yung gagawin mo kapag nag-make siya ng sound. So at 1 year and 6 months, we want to turn her sounds into words or meaningful syllables at least, or what we call word approximations. So if you look at my episode 2 about imitation, dahil nasa sounds level pa lang siya, you could just repeat it meaningfully. So kunyari naglalaro siya, tapos tapos you could make that, pwede mong i-repeat yung same sounds na ginagawa niya, pero lagyan mo ng meaning behind it. What do I mean? So the way that you will say back to her, for example, ito, kunyari may laruan, tapos sasabihin mo, oo, naka-pink siya. Favorite na color to ni mommy. So, it's the same sound para alam mo, you can do this also. And it can mean so many different things. And that's what we want to show them, that their sounds can become more and more meaningful. And once it hits them, once they get that, parang mas tuloy-tuloy na yung ganon. But if we, now, because 1 year and 6 months na siya, we can try to introduce or expect syllables and words. Pwede mo ring gawing, masaya? Ang saya maglaro, no? Or comment M words dun sa mga linalaro niya. Like, meron ba siyang, hindi ako makaisip. Ayan. Baka pero mong sabay, motorcycle. Yes. Vroom, vroom. Motorcycle. Motorcycle. Ayan. So, nakailang ulit ka na with sounds and the trigger words, ay the target words that you want para ang dami niyo nang na-stimulate sa kanya agad. Number 2, nako-confuse po si baby kapag 3 language ang naririnig kasi kapag magko-command ako sa kanya or kapag kasama namin papa niya Japanese, ikaw ang kausap ko! Kapag kasama namin papa niya Japanese, pero madalas wala naman po papa niya sa bahay, kaya Tagalog po kami mag-explain. Parang naputol siya, pero hindi ko alam kung tutuloy yan later. But just to answer that, nako-confuse ba si baby kapag maraming languages siya exposed to? Here's the science behind it. So I've actually wanted to make a video on this for a really long time. Kaso, sobrang lawak niya kasi. Like, ang dami-dami kong pwedeng ipasok na nahihirapan akong putol-putulin yung ideas ko into one video. But eventually, so funny because lagi kong nasasagot at least one of these related questions dito sa mga live stream ko. And the answer to that is, if the baby has no developmental problems, wala po siyang any disorder that we have to consider, and so let's just say, ideally, a typically developing child, there is no impact kung ilan ang mga i-expose mong language. Because actually, a human brain is so amazing in that, kunyari, kausapin ko siya ng Tagalog. Ang Tagalog vowels, di ba, ang anga natin, for example, we say, di ba, this is my favorite example, ginagamit ko to kahit nung nagtuturo pa ako ng call center dati. So, di ba, kapag Pilipino ang nagsabi ng Manny Pacquiao, yung natin, yung sound natin, Pero kapag Amerikano yung nagbasa ng Manny Pacquiao, magiging Manny Pacquiao, inaiiba yung vowel sounds, di ba? So, the amazing brain can pick out those nuances ng mga language na yun. Like, we don't even have to explicitly say, anak, gatas, Tagalog yung gatas, ha? Milk, English tong milk, ha? English. You don't need to say that because the brain automatically dissects lahat ng mga detalye yun, tapos na-determine nila na, iba tunog nito dito, magkaiba siguro sila ng language. So, ang things lang to consider if exposed sa maraming languages yung anak nyo is kapag nagbibilang tayo ng words when we're trying to check milestones, and I have an episode about that called What Counts as a Word? Para sa mga mommy na iniisip, paano ko ba malalaman kung nami-meet nga ng anak ko yung milestones? You need to count the meaningful sounds and words that they are already saying. So, where is that? That is episode 35. So, ang magiging consideration lang kapag exposed siya sa iba-ibang languages is yung, let's say, at 1-year-old, meron siya dapat 10 words na alam and or nasasabi. Single words, hindi in a sentence. 10 single words like mama, papa, kuya, ate, kain, tulog, ganyan. Pero kung exposed siya sa maraming languages, dapat mas alisto tayong, what if, nung tumatak pala sa kanyang word for sleep is yung Japanese? Or what if yung tumatak pala sa kanyang word ng let's eat or kain na or something is from another native language ng Filipino, like Bisaya or something, or magkaon na tayo or something. So lahat yon bibilangin nyo, i-combine nyo yon. So don't count it as, meron lang siyang 3 words in Tagalog, tapos parang 2 words lang pa siya in Japanese or German or something. So yun lang, kailangan ipagsama-sama mo lahat. But just to make my answer more clear, so to a typical child, the exposure to different languages dapat walang epekto. Iba na po yan kapag nga napapansin natin may difficulty si baby na mag-learn ng everyday functional words. So kapag nakikita na natin na, okay, parang delayed na si baby, ako lang, personal preference ko is, siguro mag-usap kayo ng household na every time we talk about kain, ito yung word na gagamitin natin. Every time we talk about daddy, ito lang ang tawag niya kay daddy. And so on and so forth. So it's a family decision. Yan. I hope I answered your question at nasulit mo ang iyong kaboom question. Alright, Maui-chan. Teacher, what to do sa baby ko na mga mama, papa, baba, jaja, mga words niya. Pero maraming words hindi talaga maintindihan. Turning 2 years old na po siya this July 28. Also po, nakakabanggit siya ng mama, papa, but hindi niya kami tinatawag. Ano po yung instances na masasabi niya yung mama at papa? If hindi kayo tinatawag, but let's say, naglalaro kayo, ganyan, naglalambingan kayo, tapos doon niya nasabi yung mama. Because in that case, I still consider na kapag nakatingin siya sa'yo, tapos sinabi niya, mama, word pa rin yun. Alam na niya na ikaw si mama. Pero hindi kasi ako clear dun sa description because all of these papa and baba and mama can also just be babbling pa at this point. Because ang basic babbling natin ay repeated. So, tawag namin dito ay duplicated. So, mama, papa, minsan nga, mama, papa, ganyan. So, natachantingan pa lang, they're just exploring pa lang their sound. Pero dun sa sinabi mong maraming words na hindi talaga maintindihan, I hope it helps what I explained about jargon earlier. Kasi same, my advice for you is, in the context of marami yung sinasabing words pero hindi niyo maintindihan, try to assume what the child is saying and then give the target words for that. Para mapalpan na yung paggamit niya ng kung ano-anong words. And then alam na niya, pwede palang yun ang sabihin ko. Pwede yun pala yung phrasing na gamitin ko. So I hope that answers your question. Next. Hi, teacher. Tanong ko lang po, my daughter is 12 years old. Hindi pa po siya nakapagsalita aside from words like ma. At yung mga dulo lang ng words like sa inom-nom lang yung sinasabi. May chance pa po ba siya makapagsalita normally? Okay, mommy. So 12 years old, I have to be honest. Lagpas na po siya dun sa parang prime of a child's brain na makaka-absorb siya ng mas mabilis. But meron pa ba siyang chance makapagsalita normally? Yes, but it will depend on the support that you can give her from now on. Because granted na at 12 years old, medyo mas hindi na ganun kabilis yung brain mag-absorb ng kung ano-ano lang. So ngayon, mas effortful na dapat yung the way that we teach her. And my advice is really, kung kaya naman po ng resources, ay magpa-assess na po para mas maintindihan natin bakit 12 years old na siya at hindi pa siya masyado nakakapagsalita. Para ma-improve natin yung quality of life niya, especially if we can see na gustong-gusto naman niyang mag-communicate. Ganun po ba? Because I see na meron siyang mga parts of words like word approximations like nom. And yun po. So, this is a very important point for everyone. Yung clarity ng pagbibigkas ng mga anak nyo. So for example, yung word na nom, na hindi niya nabubuo as inom, pwedeng na-drop yung unang consonant. It is typical of children na nag-learn pa lang magsalita. And at this level, na iilan pa lang yung words na alam niya, well, yun ang na-assume ko from this description, na konti pa lang yung words na alam niya. So we're going to try to parang find the language age. Yung ganitong skill level, na ganito pa lang ng number of words na alam, ganito pa lang yung the way that she gestures. So let's say, syempre hindi ko po malalaman kasi hindi ko naman siya na-assess. I will need to see the child. But for someone with, let's say, 10 single words na nasasabi or less, so parang mga 1-year-old yung language age niya. And for someone who is at 1 year old, typical lang din po na hindi ganun kaklaro yung mga nasasabi niya. Because yun nga yung that is the functioning level nung brain niya. So parang hand in hand po kasi talaga kung anong alam niyang intindihin, to anong kaya niyang sabihin, to gaano kaklaro niya kayang sabihin ito. So, yeah. So ako po, Mommy, my main advice for you now, I think is maghanap na po tayo ng magpapa-assess para po mas simulan na po natin, mas matulungan pa po natin talaga si daughter. I hope that answered your question. Grabe, guys. Pag na-excite ako, napapansin niyo ba? Excited ako kasi magsagot ng questions. Ayan. Pagod na ako. 30 minutes pa lang. Teka lang, inom lang ako. Okay, so Marian. Start nagsalita ng 11 months, mama, papa, opo, tapos biglang nag-stop ngayon. Okay. So the first thing that I want to ask kapag nag-stop is, may napansin po pa kayong anything eventful na significant na baka nangyari ng mga panahong ito, na nag-stop ito? What are some things that I'm thinking about? For example, nagkamataas na sakit ba siya, fever, that might have caused a febrile seizure? Ang mga seizures po kasi nakaka-cause ng so a seizure itself, the definition is may electrical firing dun sa brain mo. So sometimes if it hits some of the parts of the brain na medyo maselan, it will affect development or the part of the brain like for speech and language, ganyan. So that's one. I'm wondering if baka malubhang sakit. Pwede ring, kamusta po ang screen time at this period? Gaano po kadami ang napapanood na videos on TV or cellphone or any gadget? Another thing, what else, do you notice anything else about yung behavior po ni baby girl? Because 16 months, medyo meron po tayong naiisip, ako po meron akong naiisip dito with biglang nag-stop ng mga nagagawa na niya dati, because we call this regression of skills. And okay, so Mommy, sasabihin ko na lang, I'm not scaring anyone. I'm just saying na this is a characteristic of autism kapag po may mga skills na nagagawa na din, but at around 18 months old, nag-stop yung mga skills na yon, because nga autism is a developmental disorder. So if I could ask you po, and you could come back, panoorin niyo po muna yung video ko on the 6 signs of autism, or what is autism. Shucks, anong episode ba ito? And just tell me if you notice any of these things, and then so we can discuss further. It's episodes 9 and 9.1. But so ano ang pwede gawin? You can just continue to stimulate the child's eye contact, make sure na okay tayo lagi sa eye contact niya, okay yung attention niya, nasusustain yung attention kapag naglalaro kayo, always play together. When you're playing, always talk, kasi yung talking, yan po yung gagayahin nila. That's the way that they're stimulated. So one of my favorite techniques na baka kailangan kong ulitin. Maybe I should make a Taglish version kasi it was one of my earlier episodes. Kasi yung mga favorite kong technique, yung mga unang-una kong ginawa. But I think I can improve on it now. It's called commentary. So, hindi siya masyadong napapanood kasi I guess, baka mali ko. Baka mali yung title. Like, I don't know how to title it better. But, so commentary is doing everything and dubbing yourself doing it. It's my favorite language stimulation technique kasi, like, wala ka ng extrang kailangang isipin pa. Hindi ka kailangan mag-invento ng storya or whatever. Lahat lang ng ginagawa mo, lahat ng ginagawa ng anak mo, pwede mong komentahan at yun na yung magiging model niya for language. So, how would I do this? So, kunyari, nag-aanuhan kayo. Where are my toys? Where are my dolls? Bakit nawala sila lahat? Mali lang. Bakit nawawala si Maxi Bear? Hala, please makita. Okay, so kunyari ito si baby, right? Tapos nagtitinginan kayo, lambing-lambing. Tapos every time kunyari, di ba minsan yung mga baby mahilig yan maghawak ng face. So kunyari na-touch niya yung face mo. Tapos sasabihin mo lang, Mama! Mama! Tapos sasabihin mo yung name niya. Let's say pangalan ni baby ay Karen. Tapos ito-touch mo naman yung face niya, Karen. That's you, Karen. Touch face, touch mama's face, mama's face. So, lahat ng pwedeng ituro, lahat ng ginagawa, like touch, ano to, anong face, pwede mong pasabihin cheek if you wanna go into detail. So, just lahat ng what is keeping the attention of the child at the moment, that is what will make the most meaning, especially if it's something emotionally related, like pag naglalambingan nga kayo, so maaalala niya na, ang sarap naman nun, hinawakan ni mama yung pisngi ko. Maaalala niya yun pag sinabi mong, touch ni mama, cheek, lambing niya ni mama, lambing, lambing. Tapos there's a possibility na magigets niya what the word lambing means because kung madalas niyong gawin. But also, let's say, merong area, merong safe playpen si baby dyan habang nagluluto ka. Baba ko na ang init niya, ang init ng bear. So, kunwari, nagluluto ka. Ako ba ito ilalagay? So habang nag-chop-chop ako dito, carrot! Ito yung susunod, carrot! Chop na ni mommy. Chop, 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 chop. Nakailang repetition ka na ng chop, di ba, habang ginagawa mo. And it's meaningful. And again, wala na akong ginawang inimbento pa. Pero kailangan talaga po magdaldal. Kailangan daldalin talaga si baby because that's where they will pick up the everyday words. I can do that with everything. It takes practice po. Siyempre kami po as speech pathologists, we went through internship to learn these techniques. So I also believe that with practice, if you do it every day, minsan it will feel awkward in the beginning. Like, ano yung nagagawa ko? But yun po talaga, yung kailangan. So practice lang po to always stimulate baby's language. So that's episode 4 for you guys who haven't seen it. Episode 4 on commentary. I called it dubbing. And there's also episode 6 about modeling, like the things that we do to make it, parang how we can present the things that we want to teach better para mas mabilis nilang matutunan. So I hope that helped you. Hi from Leyte, Zilge. Thank you for being here. Hello, Precious. Hello, ma'am, yung baby ko po. 3 years old, mahilig siyang kumanta. Alam niya yung ABC, numbers and animals, pero hindi siya nagsasalita like conversation. Thank you po. Okay, so yung mga kinakanta niyo pong ABC and numbers and animals, saan niya po yan natutunan? So, kung natutunan niya po yan sa kakanood po, let's say, ng YouTube or ng nursery rhymes, baka po, this is a reason why hindi po siya nagsasalita. Okay? Because, so it's true, this is one of the classic concerns na lagi sa akin nasasabi is, yung anak ko po, marunong po yan nakakatawa naman itong buhok na to, marunong po siyang mag-recite ng nursery rhymes, pero hindi pa po niya kami natatawag ni mama or papa. As in, sobrang frequently asked question po yan. So that's why my next question is always, okay, saan natutunan yung nursery rhymes? Kung sa kakanood po ng videos or screen time, that is a possibility. So I have an entire episode about screen time. Alam mo ka akong kalbo kaso ang init po kasi talaga. Yung episode ko po on screen time ay episodes 21 and 22. Siyempre mahaba po to. There's more information there. So I hope you can check it out after this. But basically, to try to summarize it lang po, 'Di ba? Okay, malaki kasing usapan ngayon yung screen time. How much is good, how much is not good, ganyan. Ang recommendations na po ng lahat ng doktor ngayon is from 0 to 2 years old, dapat po walang screen time, screen exposure at all. Bakit nila to sinasabi? Because it is not the content, it is the format. So ulitin ko lang, it is not the content, meaning it doesn't matter if we think it's educational because we're teaching alphabet, because we're teaching numbers. It's the format, meaning because it is in video form, and usually to keep the child's attention, they have to make it very colorful. Yung mga cut scenes niyan mabibilis. Parang one scene, may tumatakbong teddy bear. Pangalawang scene, nadapa yung teddy bear. I mean, just very fast-paced, fast action. And it is this, and not the ABC stuff, ang maaalala nila usually. It is the fact na ang bilis-bilis niya, but the effect on their brains is that para bang they can't get enough. So dahil nasanay na ako na ganito kabilis. Kapag tinanggal mo na yung screen ngayon, parang, ay, ang bagal pala ng tunay na mundo. Parang ganon. And the real world becomes disinteresting. Biglang hindi na pala interesting yung makipag-usap lang kay mama. Kasi si mama, hindi siya kumakanta. Si mama, hindi pink yung ribbon niya, or, whatever other thing could have kept their attention for longer while watching videos. And the fact na alam niya ng ABC, numbers, and animals, let's say, only my assumption from watching nursery rhymes or videos is because the main source of learning is repetition. So kapag may stimulus ka, tapos paulit-ulit na ginagawa sa'yo yung stimulus, kahit na anong gawin mo, mamememorize mo yan. Diba? That's why we memorize mga jingles ng commercial. I mean, hindi ka naman umuupo doon, tapos parang, ay, i-memorize ko tong commercial na to. Di ba? Hindi naman tayo ganon. Pero parang just because tuwing, let's say, bukas ng TV or whatever, uulit na naman yung commercial. Like, yung ginawa ng Cherry for ba yun, isang beses na never gonna give you up. Oh my gosh, LSS. Pero ganon, tipong mamememorize talaga ng bata kasi paulit-ulit. But it doesn't mean they know what to do with that information. Kasi pag tanungin mo naman sila, kunyari, sige, alam mo na yung ABC, edi magbasa na tayo. See, it's not like that. So, their knowledge of nursery rhymes and numbers and colors, memorization pa lang yan at this point, and hindi pa po siya meaningful. So, my advice is, kung nga, dahil hindi ko alam this whole time, nagdadalang ako, but kung marami siyang videos na napapanood, tigil po muna natin. Kasi kung hindi pa siya nakakapagsalita ng conversations at 3 years old, which is when they start to combine words talaga into phrases, like, maikling kwento, mga mama, kanina, kain kami, gano'n. So, dapat nakakapagsabi na siya ng ganong klaseng mga stories, narratives. Yun. So, kapag napapansin natin na medyo delayed na yung bata, talagang, itigil na po muna natin yung screen, or as much as possible, bawasan na po yung exposure to the screens because it does something to their brain. So, yun lang po. Pero kung mag-reply ka po ulit and sabihin mo, pero hindi naman nanonood ng videos yung anak ko, sige, ibahin ko yung response ko sa'yo. And hello, this is my senior. Hello, Teacher Jean. Teacher Jean is also a speech pathologist. Hello, sis. Thank you. Buddy on Lauren. Hello po, teacher. Yung baby kong 5 years old. Ang galing niya pong magbasa, mag-spelling. Problema po talaga sa kanya, hindi po siya nakikipag-usap or hindi po siya marunong magtanong. Pero nautusan naman, nagbabasa po niya, complete po talaga kahit buong paragraph kaya niya, but hindi po siya nakikipag-usap sa amin. Okay. Hindi po siya nakikipag-usap or hindi marunong magtanong. So, but I'm assuming po na nagsasalita naman. I think when you say di siya nakikipag-usap is hindi siya nakikipagkwentuhan. Wala pa siya sa level ng kwentuhan. Am I assuming correctly? Yeah. Pero yung nakakapagbasa at nakakapag-spell, pero tatanungin ko na rin po, yung binabasa po ba niya, naiintindihan niya? For example, nakabasa siya ng buong libro ng anong children's story yung may tatlong pigs? Three little pigs. Let's say, binasa niya yung buong story ng Three Little Pigs. Kapag tinanong mo ba siya ng questions about the story, naiintindihan niya? Or as in, nababasa lang niya ng maayos? Pero kapag tinanong mong, who blew the house down? Nasasagot ba niya yung mga ganong questions? So, because that's important for me to know if is he just reading because he knows how the sounds work together? Or talagang nagbabasa siya and naiintindihan na niya? Because there is such a thing called hyperlexia, na may mga batang sobrang galing sa written communication, sa written language, na yun nga, very interested sila with literacy, so maaga silang natututong mag-spell and mag-read, ganyan-ganyan. Pero kapag tanungin mo ng related questions, hindi pala nila naiintindihan. It just so happens na they're very good with letters. Pero hindi naman po lahat ng hyperlexic ay hindi nakakaintindi. Yung iba lang po. So, baka naman po naiintindihan din niya. Pero kapag let's say, sagutin ko lang, kunwari, naiintindihan niya lahat ng mga binabasa niya. Good. At hindi siya nakikipag-usap. Ang naisip ko lang ngayon is it a personality thing? Like, may mga tao talagang hindi makwento or ganon? Or do you think hindi din niya naiintindihan kapag kayo nagtatanong kayo? And asking questions is a very different skill from just talking in general. So ang dami po kasing aspeto nung concern nyo. So you can get back to me later if you have follow-up answers. Sorry, hindi ko kasi pa masyadong mag-get yung problem. But yeah, if you're still there, I hope you can give me the follow-up answers. Hello, Primo. Charles, do you mean it's about you? Or if your definition of adult is something explicit, hindi po ito yung right time for this. But yes, if you mean an adult question like it's about you have a problem with speech and language, yes, you may. It's not just for kids, guys. We also treat naman adults. It just so happens that mukhang the community, you guys are more concerned. Mas pediatric yung concerns. That's why I said include the age of the child. Hello, Rachel from Dubai. Cool naman. Online class po. Okay, so Megan, check nyo po muna kung yung attention is not the problem that is causing your child na hindi makapag-communicate, because kung attention is lacking, baka po ma-frustrate ka lang din po dun sa expectations na makuha natin from an online playgroup. Yun lang po yung consideration ko. But, if you feel like you have nothing to lose, go ahead. I mean, life is about trial and error. So, ipasok niyo po. If it doesn't work out, at least you know that about your child, and then it'll help you figure out next steps. But yeah, my answer is still, socialization kasi talaga. Super okay. So if that works out, and I hope it does kung pinasok niyo siya, yeah, go, go, go. I'm cheering for you. Hi, Christine, Loy, Agot, with hearts. Thank you, Teacher Kaye. I appreciate your advice a lot. You're welcome, Solar. Kasi naman ang name, Solar. Hi, Giselle. Oh, si Giselle, madalas kong kausap yan. Divine Grace, 4 years old, nonverbal pa din po siya, Teacher Kaye. So, how can I help you po? I've already discussed mga language stimulation techniques. Like my favorite nga is about commentary, episode 4. But kung nonverbal as in zero sounds, you may want to start with episode 5, which is how to help them explore making more sounds first. Because before we can expect words, we need them to start by at least trying to make speech sounds. And if wala po talagang sounds na lumalabas, is it possible po na meron po siyang hearing impairment? Because baka kaya siya walang napoproduce na meaningful sounds is because wala siyang model, because wala para siyang marinig. So these are just some things that I want to ask you. And you can get back to me later. Thank you, Teacher Kaye. Your videos are very helpful. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Jenny. Oh, thank you, guys. It touches my heart. Good morning, Teacher Kaye. How are you po? I'm fine. Na-search ko po at nakita ko po mga videos niyo sa YT at nalaman ko may FB din pala kayo. Sana po mapansin niyo ang message ko. Worried so much lang sa anak ko. 3 years old siya. Alam niya po lahat ng mga letters, shapes, colors, numbers, fruits. But that different kinds of animals like mammals, sea animals. Wow! Wow! For a 3-year-old, that's pretty awesome. Basic po, na where's Papa? Like, tanongin niya, tinuturo niya po, there, tapos I want that, or kakain, I want to. May kadugtong ba to? Bakit parang putol? Okay, so just from this description, Des, astig! For 3 years old, that's a lot of vocabulary. But, so, I'm just assuming, because I'm assuming there's a problem here somewhere. Hindi po ba nakikipag-usap? Hindi po naiintindihan kapag binibigyan nyo ng commands. If that's the problem, then again, like my answer to the previous one, let's look at saan ba niya natutunan tong mga lahat to. If it's books, then I have no problem with that. But if it's screen time, that could be why hindi niya ma-generalize yung skills of this vocabulary to use it to make you kwento things or in meaningful messages. So, sorry kasi putol siya. As in, nag-scroll down ako, tapos wala siyang kadugtong. So, hindi ko alam what the problem is. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. At nawala yung message talaga. Okay, next po muna tayo. 2 years and 8 months old baby boy. Ang anak ko po ay kakumpisa pa lang magsalita, around 2 years and 6 months. Kahit pa paano naman nakikita, pero ayaw po niya sumagot ng yes or no. Oh no! Paano po kaya siya ma-encourage? Isa, bigay pa po ng anak ko po ay may pagka-hyper din. Hyper, sa akin po madalas sumunod siya, pero sa iba po minsan, madalas hindi. Okay, I'll tackle because I already have an episode on yes or no, but bibigyan na lang din kita ng konting snippet on what you can do. But una kong i-address ay yung pagka-hyper. So, I advised a parent recently also na kapag medyo napapansin po natin na hyper yung bata, usually it is because they are seeking a stimulation na hindi nila makuha. That's why para bang they're jumping off the walls. Mahilig sila magtatatakbo, ganyan. Hinahanap nila yung, I guess, a certain kind of pagod or something sa katawan nila. Basta, because I don't know kung na-mention ko na in previous live streams, but there is such a thing called a sensory integration issue where yung normal functions of the body to receive like regular levels of touch. Kunyari, pag hinawakan kang ganyan, light touch lang yon. Pero to someone with a sensory integration problem, this could be like parang sinapa ka na ng sobrang lakas, or minsan naman, parang hindi ka niya maramdaman at all. Kahit ginaganyan mo na, hindi ka niya maramdaman. So, we can categorize children into sensory seekers, or sensory seeking, or sensory you're seeking, or you're overstimulated. Gosh, I might not be using the precisely right terms right now, but the basic idea is there's a kind of category of children na parang kulang, laging kulang, kailangan pa ako naghahanap, kaya sila nag-hyper. Yung iba naman parang konting lakas lang, ang lakas naman, konting sounds lang, parang sobrang lakas. They are overstimulated naman by stuff. So children who are hyper, what I suggest is you include in your daily routine some sort of activity that will help them find that stimulation na hinahanap nila. So for therapy, the things that we can do, because obviously when you're in a clinic, hindi naman pwedeng there's not a lot of space na magtatatakbo, wala kaming track and field dun sa loob. Pero parang magandang idea yun. Paggawa kayo speech clinic na may track and field, palibutan yung clinic. But, so the things that we do is, usually before a session, ipapalit say trampoline muna namin, or ipapadaan namin sa obstacle course, or basta ways that they can kind of expend that energy and to find the stimulation that they're looking for. Because once they get it, once they find what they need, mas makaka-focus sila sa inyo, at kapag nakafocus sila sa inyo, doon magsisimula ang learning. Also, there's for those of you who have experience with speech therapy or occupational therapy, sometimes you also integrate the obstacle course with the actual task. So for example, ang kailangan lang naman talaga nilang gawin is to identify the word that I say. Kunyari sabihin ko, giraffe, ganyan. Tapos may cards doon sa kabilang mesa na may picture ng giraffe at picture ng zebra, for example. Pero dahil sinabi ko giraffe, their task is to get the picture of the giraffe. No, hindi ko i-cue. Ang ginagawa namin is bago nila makuha yung card na yon, papadaanin namin sila sa ilalim ng tunnel, sa ibabaw ng upuan, tapos mag-jump muna sila 5 or 10 times, tapos saka pa lang nila kukunin yung target word. Para in that way, na fulfill na natin yung need niya for stimulation, pagdating niya dun sa actual task niya, mas relax na, mas ready na siya for the learning, for the task. So that's one thing that I suggest to you if you want to do activities like that. But if you can include in your daily routine, like paggising niya, let's say gumigising ba siya ng 8 a.m., run for 10 to 20 minutes outside. If you have a dog, you can use that as an excuse na kailangan ni Brunong tumakbo, ganyan. Itakbo natin siya. Or yung simpleng pagdidilig ng mga halaman sa labas ng bahay, gawin yung task together because yun, di ba, nakakapagod din yun, yung mga chores na gano'n. Or kunyari, pag turuan yung sabay kayo, kunwari magwawalis dun sa labas. So anything that expends their energy may fulfill their seeking needs. Now, to answer a question about answering yes or no, I already have an episode on yes or no. And that is episode. Matagal na pala yun. Wow, time flies because I had so much fun. Charet. Nasa yes or no, guys? Ayun, ang tagal na nga. Episode 13. Yeah, so one of the first things that you need to do for answering yes or no, as in the very basic, is use preferences. So you always you present them with two options, an option that you know gusto nila, and an option na you know also na ayaw nila. So kapag kunyari, humihingi siya, ma, gusto kong merienda, ganyan, or something. Tapos labas mo yung gusto niya at yung ayaw niya. Sasabihin mo, alin dito yung gusto mo? Ito ba? Unahin mo yung ayaw niya. Tapos syempre, kunyari, iling siya or whatever, sabihin mo, no, hindi ito yung gusto mo. No, hindi, ma. Tapos if you see na nag-attempt siya ng any of the targets you want, like no, or shaking of head, or hindi, sabihin mo, hindi pala ito pala yung gusto mo. Do you want this? Tapos ulitin mo. Yes? Ito yung gusto mo? Ito yung gusto ko. Saka mo ibigay kapag nag-attempt na siya to like make a gesture or to repeat yes or oo. So I hope those help you, but there's more tips in that episode. But ang dami po kasing tanong, so let's get it going, guys. Okay. Hello, Jacques. Hi po, what can you suggest sa anak ko na si Zion? Need po pa-enroll na daw sa school kaso wala pa rin tayo face-to-face. I think it's not effective po online. Gosh, okay, this is, gosh, ayoko pong mag-advise sa inyo about schooling niya po kasi parang hindi ko na siya business. I mean, parang hindi ko na siya expertise to advise you on yung next level schooling ng anak ninyo. But if you're concerned about online, I think yung concern mo about it possibly not being effective is if napapansin mong merong attention problems yung anak nyo, or parang you think hindi siya makaka-sit through an entire class, so meron siyang sitting span issues. So kung meron nga po mga ganitong issues, then kailangan tututok ka po talaga to make it work. But as for effective ba ang online schooling, I think so naman po, because a lot of my friends have put their kids into online schooling, and parang, you know, with enough adjustments in your household, parang it can work naman po to your benefit. So yeah, just consider all the things about working behaviors ng anak niyo po. So I wish you the best of luck. Okay, hi Primo, baby ko 19 months today. Happy birthday, baby. Nakakababol siya ng ga, ya, and madaldal. Kaso no words po talaga. Do I have to worry po ba? 19 months. Well, you know, I never want to tell parents that, yes, I want you to worry. Because who wants to worry? But, okay, ganito na lang po. I'll give you I'm going to put my milestones, my basic milestones link here. You guys can download this actually. I posted this on Facebook before. And it will just show you here. I'm going to post it as a comment. Ayan. I don't know kung makikita. Tama ba? Hindi ko alam kung makikita niyo yan. But so, at 19 months kasi, some of the milestones that we expect at 19 months ay nakakadugtong na siya ng 2 salita. Nakakaintindi na siya kapag kinukwentuhan niya siya ng mga short stories. May mga 50 single words na po silang mga nasasabi. So, if nasa babbling stage pa po siya, that's true that there is already a speech delay in this regard. So my advice for you is if nanonood po ng any sort of videos, ay itigil po muna yung exposure to the screens. And then my same advice for the other parents kanina about commentary, do this every day. Episode 5 on exploring more babbling sounds that eventually become words. And doing a lot of action songs, because action songs po talaga really engage children, and it teaches a lot of functional first words that you can do together. And makikita nyo if naiintindihan ka niya, because kung susunod siya dun sa routine ng kung ikaw ay masaya, tapos every time pa change mo yung action, di ba? Pwedeng, imbis na pumalakpak, pwede mong gawing tumalon ka, tapos hindi naman kung susunod siya. And that's already a very good indicator kung naiintindihan ka nila. Oh my gosh, guys, it's 3 o'clock already. And I'm according to my scroll bar, I am at 1/4 of the questions. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Ulitin ko na lang kaya next week. I'm so sorry, guys. Jeng, any tips on teaching 6-year-old with auditory nerve hypoplasia? He has unilateral CI since 2 years old but struggle pa po build vocabulary niya since di pa best ang map. We are also using the sign language. Shucks, this is difficult if it has something to do with auditory. So parang medyo we are kind of not like removing, but we cannot be as dependent on the things that they receive verbally and auditorily. So the best thing I can advise for you is have lots of visual cues. Do a lot of looking at books, because yung books, you have single items in picture, and then you have entire context kapag yung type of books nyo ay yung parang may landscape na art. So those are very good for children. Yes, good to use sign language, but tanong ko na lang din po if it helps. Is there, unilateral, so one ear is functioning. So my advice, even when using sign language, is to keep modeling the speech models for whatever you are signing. So kahit na alam na niya this for like give, every time pa rin you do it, sabihin mo, want me to give you? Okay, here, I will give you the apple, ganyan, for example. So, yeah, use lots of visuals, use lots of tactile cues when teaching sounds. The one that I shot this morning, kaya mapapansin nyo next week, ito din yung suot ko sa video ko next week, for example, for sounds that need to be sustained, like an F or an S, na kailangan tuloy-tuloy yung airflow, tactile cues like touching them, running your finger on their arm works a lot for teaching sounds like that. So I hope that helps you. Charlene, hi teacher, yung son ko, 2 years, 4 months, hindi siya nag-make ng sound ng mga animals pag tinuro sa kanya kung saan baka tinuturo. Wait, sorry. 4 months na hindi siya nag-make sound ng mga animals pag pinaturo ko sa kanya kung saan ang baka, tinuturo naman niya kahit sa pusa, pero di niya ginagaya yung sound nun. Pero may mga words na siya simula ginawa ko ng mga advice mo, like, hindi, mama, papa, te, tapos yung no niya lang, then mag-gesture siya. No counts as word pa yun. Yes, gestures count as word, but it counts as a receptive word, as in a word that they understand, but it doesn't count as a word that they say because gesture siya. So, ihiwalay niyo lang po yung when you're counting that word as a receptive as part of their receptive vocabulary or as part of their expressive vocabulary. So I don't know what kind of techniques you've tried to na maengganyo siyang gumaya ng sounds ng animals, but for me, my favorite advice is to be animated. So, imbis na yung moo mo, cow, moo, and I'm sure to some parents, it's very natural to play around with this. But kung ako kasi, exage ko pa talaga, as in, look at this cow. This cow is so fat. It's saying, moo. So, I mean, to other people who may not understand what we're doing, they might think, oh, OA naman. But if that's what makes it interesting for babies, and kung ano yung tumatak for them, diba? We do everything that we can to teach them what they need to learn. And, thank you, Giselle. And Primo. I already answered you, Sir Primo. Yeah, I did. Later pa daw. Hi, Indonila. And hi, Teacher Kaye. I have good news. My baby, 2.6-year-old, had an assessment, and guess what? She's normal. Thank you so much for all the videos you shared. It really helped me a lot. She can read and recognize things na and able to react and communicate. I just want suggestions po ulit if ano yung mga dapat kong i-practice sa kanya at her age. More power to you. Hope to meet you soon. Kinilig ako. 2 years, 2.6. So, ito po talaga is medyo beginning narratives na. So always when we're trying to teach a new skill, we teach at just the level above. So kung napapansin nyo na meron na siyang 2 words, tapos 60% of the time nakakapag-combine na siya ng hingi, milk, mommy wants, give me, mga ganyan. Di ang i-model nyo na next is 3 words because you always want to go just a step above. Para hindi sila nagsistagnate. There's always something more to learn. You can learn more about that in my episode about the zone of proximal development. And where's that? I think I named it, hindi ko na actually maalala, kahit yung thumbnail hindi ko maalala. Ano bang title nito? Pero, ito. Ay, hindi rin. Episode 14. Are you spoon feeding or expecting too much from your child? So this is a good way for you to learn what next to teach your child. And you usually base it on the skills that they're already exhibiting. So for you at 2.6 years old, I suggest medyo turuan nyo ng magkwento. So at the end of the day, if you guys saw the lullaby that I released a few weeks ago, or just that 2 weeks ago, in the lyrics, di ba sinabi ko, balikan ng saya ng hapon at umaga. Lahat actually yung lyrics ng lullaby is what I want you guys to do pagka gusto nyong mag-wind down na sila. So everything that you want to do to make bedtime a little bit easier, hapon pa lang, medyo prime nyo na sila, bigyan nyo na sila ng idea na, kapag dumilim na, kapag di nyo na makita yung araw, papasok na tayo sa bahay, or magpapalit na tayo ng damit, maliligo na tayo, maghanda na tayo kumain ng hapunan, tapos after nun, magtutoothbrush na tayo. Anong ginagawa natin after mag-toothbrush? Kailangan, after mag-toothbrush, magpapalit na into pajama, tapos pupunta na tayo sa kwarto. O so, pwedeng kapag nakwento nyo ng gano'n, ilang beses naging routine na siya. At the end of the day, kapag nakahiga na kayo in bed, you can recount the things that they did throughout the day. So, tanungin nyo, saya naman ng araw na to. Ano ang ginawa natin? Nung umaga, kumain tayo ng tapa at ng rice. Nung lunch, naalala mo kung anong kinain natin? Tapos hintayin nyo siya, mag-respond kung naalala niya kung anong kinain ng lunch. Because just the fact that recalling things from the day, it exercises their memory, and then it's the beginning of meron kayong pagkukwentuhan because it actually happened to the child. So yeah, that's my advice for you is to start stimulating narratives or yung pagkukwento. I hope that helps and congratulations, Mommy. I'm so happy for you. Guys, I'm so sorry, pero I will extend to see if matatapos ko yung questions but hanggang 3:30 lang po talaga. Kung hindi, mamamatay po yung lalamunan ko. Okay. JCL, hello. First timer here. Hello. Happy to have you here. Baby boy ko po, 3 years and 9 months na po siya. Nakakapagsalita na po siya. Pero hindi po conversational. Paano po kaya siya matuturuan makipag-usap? Nakaka-amaze lang po kasi nakakapagbasa siya ng mga words na familiar siya sa spelling watching from YouTube. Okay. That's good. At 3 years and 9 months, nakakapagsalita. But actually, a milestone for 3-year-olds is conversational na. So yeah, you're right that the next thing that we want na makita sa kanya is makipag-usap na siya. And just like the tip that I gave before this question about talking about the things that happened, or kunwari, may kapatid siya, tapos biglang tumakbo siya sa'yo, tapos umiiyak siya, ipakwento mo, as in, huwag mong hulaan muna, kahit na let's say, alam mo naman, parang, nakipag-away siguro to kay kuya, or nakikita niyo naman na may sugat na yung ano niya, yung tuhod niya, pero maliit lang, ganyan. Kunyari, pwedeng so, anong nangyari? Sabihin mo sa akin, anong nangyari? So, pretending that we don't know is always a good way of eliciting more information from them. So, yun po yung next na kailangan yung gawin. And then, yes, yung pagbabasa po, nalo-learn po talaga yan kapag na-introduce nyo na yung alphabet, and it's really the beginning of literacy. So, that's good. And you can use yung pagbabasa niya to improve yung mga nasasabi niya. So, for example, nagbasa kayo ng story, short story lang, or kahit tigwo 1 sentences, ganyan, at a time. So, nung binasa yung sentence ay, kumakain ng ice cream si Totoy, for example. Tapos, siya nung nagbasa nun, tapos syempre, wow, nababasa niya, nakakain ng ice cream si Totoy. Anong kinain ni Totoy? Sinigang ba? Tapos, gusto mong sumagot siya ng, hindi sinigang, ice cream. Tapos, kapag nandun na kayo sa topic ng ice cream, pwede na kayong, ano kayong flavor ng ice cream yung kinakain ni Totoy? Para makapagkwento siya, parang kung hindi siya nagsasabi ng mga words, sabihin mo, ikaw, ano bang gusto mong ice cream na kainin ngayon? Masarap yung chocolate, ganyan. Kailan nga ba tayo una nakatikim ng chocolate ice cream? So, if you can see, it also kasi requires a lot for us to want to talk to our children. We want to be able to also converse with them. So our personal curiosities, are factors to also getting them to make kwento. Oh my gosh, I used make kwento para magkwento sila sa atin. Okay, so, hi, how can I help my 5-year-old Zion? Not yet talking to her. Oh, hi, it's Jack. 2 syllables pa lang po kaya niya, and the other letters like I, M, okay, so 2 syllables pa lang kaya niya. 2 syllables. So like, inom, ganyan. So at 5 years old, Mommy expected na po na at least 90% of the child's speech is at the adult level. Meaning medyo dapat alam na nila kung paano kind of magkwentuhan. So talking in 2 syllables is already delayed speech po. So, yung mga letters, like I said, if na-explain ko to kanina, na if the language age of the child is at the 2-syllable level of saying words, din nasa mga, siguro mga 1 to 2 years old, let's say, a very huge approximation lang. So at 2 years old, hindi pa rin naman relevant yung letters. So I actually don't recommend naman na kailangan nyo sa kanilang ituro tong I, M, N, X, Y, etc. So ang advice ko po is the same as all the other advice na sinabi ko kanina. Pero wait, you have an additional. Paano ko siya matitrain na masabi? Gusto niya lalo yung kung may masakit po kay Zion, 5 years old with ASD. Oh, that's a factor. So with ASD, so like I said, since this is a developmental disorder, we have to take that into consideration. So to be able to say na may sakit, dapat nakikita niya kayo, na kapag kayo may something masakit, na you are verbal about it. So maybe the next time, or kahit magkunwari ka, parang kunyari, nabunggo ka lang sa gilid ng mesa, tapos make a big deal out of it. Sabi mo, ang sakit ng ko. Siko, ang sakit ng siko ko. Tapos make a big deal like, Zion, nasaktan si mama. Ano kayang kuha mo ko ng alcohol? O kunyari, kahit hindi naman relevant, di ba? Pero kunwari lang, just to get them engaged into seeing, kapag ako pala nasaktan, pwede din akong humingi ng tulong. So the next time na nakita mong nasaktan siya, tapos hindi siya humihingi ng tulong, ikaw yung mag-make ng fuss, sabi mo, anong nangyari? Saan? And then try to see kung tuturo sila, kung saan sila nasaktan, or give the words sa tuhod ba? Sa siko? So give them the target words that they could use, etc., etc. So generally, my advice is the same, is that you need, especially for children with ASD, more explicit yung ating language stimulation. So it's not something na matututunan lang nila as in to absorb on their own. So dapat talaga pilit, extra effort tayo to keep providing them with the words that we want them to understand. Okay, next. Hi, Ma'am Kaye. Yung 3.5 po, toddler ko po ay okay naman po yung receptive language niya. Pero sa expressive, hirap pa siya mga tamang articulation or sounds. Okay naman nakakapagsalita siya ng, I want this, mama. Clear naman siya, I don't want, mama. I want to sleep, mama. No cell phone, mama. Wow, no cell phone, mama. Pero minsan gusto niya mag-express why ayaw niya. Like, no, mama. Like, masasabi niya, di niya ma-express why. Although nagtata-try siya, di ko masyado maintindihan yung sinasabi, not unless it's like possible words. But that's a good start po. I think you're on the right track. So, the skill of answering why questions is not as simple as knowing the words to go into it, because may reasoning ng kasama dyan because why needs to have them understand cause and effect. So for them to be able to answer why, dapat alam nila what caused ba something, and the inferential skills to be able to see, kahit hindi nila makita, anong pwedeng mangyari kung mangyari ang hypothetical na situation. So, hindi pa talaga yan makaka-explain answering why. So, in the first few times that you use why, make it for very simple things like, kunyari, sabihin niya, I'm hungry, mama. Why? Hindi pala, I'm hungry, mali. I want to eat, mama. Sabihin mo, why do you want to eat? Are you hungry? Tapos, so, magigets niya na, yeah, I want to eat because I am hungry. So, start with everyday things like, I want to drink, mama. Why? Because you're thirsty. Or, sabihin mo sa kanya, we're going to eat na. You need to wash your hands. Tapos kapag parang gusto niya magtanong ng why, ikaw na nung magsabi na, why do we need to wash our hands? Because, look, I can see, yung kamay mo very dirty. Nag-play ka kanina dun sa maalikabok. And hindi natin kinakain ng alikabok. Yucky. So, just give everything first. As in, don't expect to test them right away. So when they're trying to answer the question, and very good yung technique nyo, iisa-isahin nyo yung possible words, yes, ganyan po talaga, trial and error, until you get what they're trying to say. And then at the end of your conversation, i-string mo, parang mag-recap ka, and then gawin mong, that's why, it's because, blah, 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 blah. Para tingnan natin kung, parang magkaka-aha moment siya. But with regard to 3.5 siya, and may mga hindi pa tamang articulation of sounds, that's okay, because at 3 years old, kahit 80% pa lang ang clear is still acceptable at this level. So I hope that helps you. Po, okay. Alright. Mary Ann, Teacher Kaye, matagal po siyang lumunok ng food niya. Teacher Kaye, minsan po nakakasilita po siya ng ma'am. Matagal lumunok ng food. Do you think it has something to do with chewing din? Mabagal din po ba siya mag-chew ng food niya? Because I just want to know if there's a factor of yung strength of the articulator, as in the jaw. Because kung matagal siyang kumain, tapos ngayon pala it's because nahihirapan siyang galawin yung mouth niya, it's also possible na kaya hindi na lang siya nagsasalita is because nakakapagod for the child. So I want you to either observe this on your own for a few more weeks, or i-message mo ako agad kapag mas na-observe mo na, and then tingnan po natin, baka po kailangan ipa-assess if there's if it's feeding related also. Lourdes, hi from Negros Occidental. My son is 3.5 years old. He can talk, but 25% of the time hindi clear. Nag-therapy kami at the moment. My problem sa tongue niya, hindi niya kaya ma-reach ang upper teeth niya. Ano po yung problem sa tongue niya? Meron po ba siyang tongue tie or ankylosing? Because I've talked about this in one of my Ask Teacher Kaye episodes. Let's see if I can remember. Because if tongue-tied po siya dahil hindi niya maabot ang upper teeth niya. Or, okay, so there's two. But so the episode that talks about tongue-tie is episode 32. I think it's in there. And then may timestamp naman po ako so you can fast forward to the ankylosing part. Or is it because maikli lang talaga yung tongue niya? Aside from tongue exercises, speech po talaga is the main exercise that you can do. You practice speech with speech. So it might help po kung you look at books together and then gawin yung routine na the words that I say, uulitin niya, and make sure to pick the words that need the tongue. So those are usually the dental sounds like or yung mga bumabaliktad na tongue like r, yan yung mga sounds that need the tongue a lot. So pick out those words with the with the related sounds na nahihirapan siya. And when you're looking at the book, yun talaga nung, oh my gosh, it's a ladder. What's this? Ladder. Ayan. So, meron na kayong practice. So, every day, make it a point na you are practicing his speech. But good job for getting therapy. One more. Nagsasalita naman si baby boy, super talkative, pero wala talaga maintindihan sa mga words niya. 2 years old na siya this July 28. Ano po kaya ang ma-help ko sa kanya? Magto 2 years old, pero super talkative. I think, sir, you're talking about jargon. Sir or ma'am, sorry, Maui. Jargon. My episode on jargon is episode 34. So I hope that you can watch this just to save time for now. So you can actually turn itong mga hindi naiintindihang words into more meaningful phrases for him. I hope you can watch the episode just so we can save time. I have 8 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, yay, naabutan kita. Late na ba ako? Oh my gosh. Actually, kahit dumating ka ng 2:12, your comment was 2:12. Wala pa rin ako. Andito pa lang ako. Sana makatanong ka ng question mo. Maricel, may nasasabi naman po siya, iba pang words bukod pa dun sa mama, papa na, pero limited lang po talaga. I see. Yeah, so actually, hindi ko na maalala. Oh, Miss Maricel, I have to back read. But, sige, we could also just talk about this also in a private chat. Medyo nagpapanik ako. I'm so sorry, guys. Ronnie, he knows his alphabet, numbers, colors, and animals and sounds nila. Oh my gosh, Ronnie, I know I talked to you na kanina, pero hindi ko talaga maalala what we were talking about. But yeah, depends where nila, kung ano yung relevance ng alphabet and numbers sa kanya. So again, if it's from watching shows, na it could just be plain memorization, and it's not a skill that they can generalize into communication. Ling, hi po, my concern is 3-year-old son. Hindi po siya nakikinig. Send to the nakikinig. Ayaw makinig, ang grabe ang kulit, and medyo violent na po siya, hindi rin siya nakipag-eye contact unless kung sabihin ko talaga na look in my eyes, saka po siya nakikita na way talk mo clear but most of the time below so once nakakaiyak kasi baka may something sa kanya, pero my husband told me that to extend our patience so baka may changes pa dati. Okay, so my take on this na parang let's wait, ganyan. Actually, guys, early intervention is the answer. So if meron na po kayong suspicions of something possibly is not right, trust your instinct as a parent. And it's much better na early, like from 1 to 3 years old kayo magpa-intervention, because the earlier that you get intervention, the help that they need, the faster that you can possibly solve the problem. Hindi na lalaki pa yung gap dun sa mga mawawala sa kanya. So let's not wait. If you can already see that there is a behavioral issue, and this is very dangerous if medyo meron na po siyang violent tendencies, because he can end up hurting others or himself. Because I have seen children that get frustrated at nung kanilang sariling ulo yung binabang sa either sa floor or sa wall. So we have to be very careful about this. And really sa behavior, nagsisimula ang learning. So I suggest po for you is to already get an assessment with an occupational therapist to see how we can address the behaviors first. And then, when you see an occupational therapist, dun pa magpa-advise po tayo kung kakayanin na po ng behavior niya to be able to do speech therapy, because yes, kailangan na pong ma-address kung most of the time bulol pa talaga, because at 3 years old, dapat 80% of the time na iintindihan na siya. So, yeah, that's my advice for you. Okay, I can't give you a star. Wala ka pa icon ng star. Why hindi ka nag-love din YouTube silent? Hindi ka nag-love. Wait, what? Hindi ko po alam yan. I'm so sorry, can you explain to me? Why hindi ka nag-love? But I love you! Charet, ano bang nangyayari? Okay, I'll move on for now. May cerebral palsy po ang daughter ko, teacher, and may congenital heart disease. 12 years old na po siya. Di pa siya nakapagsalita ng buong words, although alam ko po naintindihan niya ako kasi nag-respond siya sa akin. Tuwing kinakausap ko siya, di lang siya talaga na kaya. Bigsa, natatawag naman niya ako ng ma. Pag may gusto siya, like, iinom, sabi niya mga dulo ng words like, Mom, is there a possibility, teacher, na makapagsalita siya ng normal? Like I said with a previous question, is there a possibility na yes, there's always the possibility, especially depending on the amount of support and intervention that you can get for the child. And especially because cerebral palsy has something to do with muscular strength and muscular coordination. Yun na po is the main factor kung ba't nahihirapan siya to make speech sound. So yes, a lot of individuals with cerebral palsy have very good receptive language. Actually, they know what they want. They know what they want to say. Pero because nga of their muscular limitations, hindi nila masabi yung mga words. So, yeah, if you want your child to be able to speak and catch up with better speech para ma-improve yung quality of life niya, if kaya nyo naman pong i-manage with your resources, get a speech assessment po para alam natin how exactly we can help this child to improve pa her speech. So, yes, fighting. Let's do it. Hi po, 2 years and 10 months baby girl, nakakapagsalita ng animal name, shape, alphabet, colors, but never conversational, cannot express what she wants in words, no phrase or sentence, babble pa rin hanggang ngayon whenever she talks. Same answer, Louise. So I hope that you were listening from kanina. If you weren't, I'm going to give like a bullet point piece of advice. So we have to look at saan niya ba natutunan ng animals, names, shapes, alphabet. So I'm just assuming because they can learn this from books or they can learn it from watching videos. If it is watching videos, itigil po muna yan. This, I believe, is the main factor that is causing the delay na hindi siya makapag-conversation or babbling pa rin siya kahit na 2 years and 10 months old na siya, which is already delayed for her age. So, with that, after removing screen time, can you please watch episode 8 and 8.1 about what you can do para mapilitan siyang mag-request sa inyo, because requesting is one of the first things na ginagawa ng mga bata to learn how to communicate. So, kung gusto nyo may hingin sila sa inyo, set up your household and set up your home environment to make it more conducive for her learning. So I hope that helps you. Hello, Rhea from UAE. Hello, guys. Hello, Sam. Hello, Teacher Kaye. Ano mo pwedeng gawin para mas maging conversational po yung anak ko? Naka-access naman siya para hirap pa siya mag-construct ng sentence. Sam Cyrus, I want you to look at my episode on extension and expansion. Na-mention ko na sa kanina. You can just look for it. It's purple. Purple yung thumbnail nun. So extension and expansion is perfect for adding words to their existing words that they can already say. Ma'am, hello Glenda, 3 years and 3 months baby boy, nakanta ng Wheels on the Bus pero di niya ma-express ang gusto niya sabihin. Same. If this is Wheels on the Bus because of watching nursery rhymes on videos, please itigil po muna yan, and that is why they cannot communicate, because the screen time has done something to their brains. As in, my episode on screen time talks as into the level of hormones. Like, it tells you, it releases dopamine. Ganong level. Watch the episode on screen time, guys. And after that, there's lots of advice for what you can do after. RJ has seen. Thank you for sharing. Teacher Kaye, about dun sa concern ni Ms. Maritel, what if hindi nagpo-point ang bata sa gusto niya? Kasi ang anak ko is hindi siya nagpo-point and wala po talaga kami maintindihan, kaya never namin maintindihan ang gusto niya. Pag nasa labas kami ng house, minsan nagtitignan siya. Then magsasalita siya, kaya lang, hindi namin alam kung anong ba tinitignan niya pa. You assume what she is looking at kapag nag-comment siya. So, kunyari, nakaganyan yung baby niya, nasa labas kayo. Tapos, because nga, yung eye gaze niya, it could be one of many things. Like for me right now, if I look in this direction, it could be bookshelf, TV, radio, curtain, window, chair. You say all of those things. So, kapag sinasabi niyo hindi niyo alam kung anong tinitingnan niya, no, really, follow the eye gaze of the child. So, tingnan niyo, okay, medyo in that direction yung eye gaze ng bata, nung nagsasalita siya, lahat yun ko-commentan ko, oh, are you looking at the window? Yeah, the light is coming in through the window. And the TV, it's off, not time to watch TV right now, and there are so many books in the bookshelf. So, yeah, you just put the words in your child's mouth and see kung anong mapupulot niya. Baka matsambahan natin kung ano yung tinitingnan niya and ma-absorb niya yun. It's really trial and error. Nabanggit po, may ibang words naman po siya nasabi, at kasi yung iba po, imbis na blue, do, tawag niya, yung squash siya, tawag niya, 3 years and 7 months old. Nakakaintindi naman po siya ng words na phrases, hindi ba kaya pag gutom siya or iyan, nagsasayin po ng really or dead. Okay, so yung mga ganito pong articulation errors na blue, nagiging do, it really depends how much of the time it happens now at 3 years and 7 months old, because like I said, at 3 years old, dapat 80% of the time naiintindihan na natin siya. So if these articulation errors like blue to do happens 10% of the time, 20% of the time, acceptable pa po yan. Kung hindi na po, kung madalas pong ganyan pa rin, make more intentional cues about what you want her to try when you're saying blue instead of do. So watch my episode about how to pronounce the B sound. It has lots of tips on what kind of cues you can do para magawa niya yung mga sounds na yun. Oh my gosh, guys, it's 3:31 and I am really far, super far from the end. So, guys, you know what? I'll just see you again next week. Okay lang ba, guys? I'm so sorry for everyone who has stuck around here, hoping na nasasagot ko yung tanong nila. Please, guys, comment na lang ulit kayo next week. I promise to do this again. But yeah, hindi ko na kaya. Medyo na, I have to take care of myself. Self-care first. But yeah, I'll answer this one last one because I flashed the question on the screen. Miss Jasmine, 2.4 na po, baby ko, Teacher Kaye. Yeah. Wee, mama, yum, G lang alam niya sabihin. Aminado po kami na-exposed in 6 months ng TV, pero now less na. Pero he's okay naman kasi motor skills niya okay naman. Agad siya nakaka-pick up, nakakarinig din siya, nagre-react po siya kahit nasa likod, tulad pinaya niya sa isang LSN. Sa tingin niya, teacher, wait pa ba ako ng konti? Nasa Udabut kami nitong March lang, hinalo ko siya with other kids kasi both kami nag-work ng asawa ko. Pero why are my comments putol? Putol na naman po to, mommy. I'm so sorry. But, yes, good move to socialize with other kids. So, but hindi. Ang payo ko po always is early intervention, especially if you have access and the resources for it, because we don't want to wait. Marami pong nangyayari in that short period that we wait. But while you are looking for a speech therapist that you want, if you are willing to do teletherapy, I can even help match you with some teletherapists in Manila. But yes, if babbling pa lang siya at 2.4 years old, kailangan po natin bilisan at tulungan po natin siyang makakabol dun sa mga skills na kailangan pa niya. So please watch episode 5 because that really will tell you more about what to do with the babbling of the child and how to try to turn it into words. And okay guys, I'm really sorry, but thank you to everyone who came to this Libreng Konsulta, and I will see you again. I promise. Sige po, ipapromise ko na. Sinasabi ko na sa inyo, I will do this again next week. Just wait for my announcement kung if it's the same time, if it's Saturday or Sunday, titingnan ko pa po yung schedule ko. Because I feel so bad I'm not even halfway through the scrolling bar of all the comments, but again, guys, thank you for trusting me, for listening to my advice. And sometimes I speak too fast and very, very honest and very blunt. Sana po walang na-offend to the way that I talk about things and how honestly I say things. And I wish you all the best and always be healthy. Work out, drink your vitamins. And yeah, that's it. Peace out po muna ako ngayon and see you soon.